Okay, so let me get started. Fit with Mommy Lou's Wednesday Friends Day Dance for Relief is tonight from 6 until 6:35. And that's where you can throw off some stress, rather. Throw off your stress, enjoy exercise, move around. This is a free online event, but donations of $3 or more are accepted and will be donated to a different local charity every week. So this is a weekly event from 6 until 6:35, and details and the link can be found on the Let's Go page of the Durham Skywriter, and that's durhamskywriter.com. All righty. Now this is happening tomorrow, but it's happening tomorrow at the same time I'll be doing Bull City Hangout. So Preservation Durham and the Museum of Durham History present Postcards from Durham, as featuring historian John Shelp. That's tomorrow from noon until 1. And feel free to watch that instead of Bull City Hangout, and just join me later or just watch the show later. No big deal. So this is where you can see historic local postcards from John Shelp's collection, and he'll tell you some interesting stories behind those postcards. So again, check out the Let's Go page, the Durham Skywriter, for the link. You'll be watching this from the Museum of Durham History's Facebook page. Okay, now here's the huge news of the day. Let me grab my iPad. This was too long for me to jot down on a sheet of paper, so I'm reading this from my iPad. Huge news. The feeding program is back. So here's what happened. The Durham Public Schools, Durham County Government, Durham Public Schools Foundation, local nonprofits, and local restaurants are partnering. They formed Durham Feast, and that's a new meal program for young people aged 18 and under, and it starts tomorrow, April 16th. Now, things are a little different, but let me explain. So, families can go to take their kids and pick up breakfast or lunch, or you can just, get it for your kids. You might not have to take them with, and you don't have to go to your school. I will actually list the schools for you, because not all of the schools are doing this. Now, here's the cool thing. Adults can pick up non-perishable food supplies and or family-style casseroles. This is even better than last time. This is super wonderful. So again, this is starting tomorrow. And again, this is where young people age 18 and under can get breakfast and lunch. I'm assuming they're bagged. And then the adults can pick up non-perishable food supplies to help them along, of course, with food preparation later in the week. And also, I shouldn't say and also, it's and or, whatever you choose, family-style casseroles. Totally wonderful. Starting tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to actually read the list because I just want you to get the gist of what's happening. So starting tomorrow, certain schools will be doing this from 11 until 12:30. And those schools are Bethesda Elementary. And by the way, the addresses are in the article on the school page for Durham Skywriter. Okay, so from 11 to 12:30, Bethesda Elementary, Eno Valley Elementary, Githens Middle, R.N. Harris Elementary, Hillside High, Parkwood Elementary, and Sandy Ridge Elementary. And the schools taking part in this program from noon until 1:30 are Burton Elementary, Lakeview School, Shepherd Middle, Southern High, and Southwest Elementary. A couple more things to mention. Families can pick up meals at the following schools on Tuesdays and Fridays. That's Brogden Middle, Eastway Elementary, Glen Elementary, Holt Elementary, Y.E. Smith Elementary, and C.C. Spalding Elementary. And for this Tuesday and Friday deal, from noon until 1:30, the schools are Club Boulevard Elementary, Hillendale Elementary, Holton Career and Resource Center, and a couple of new ones, KIPP, K-I-P-P Durham, Maureen Joy Charter School, and Lakewood Middle. So, something in addition. Volunteers are needed to keep this program going. So if you're able to help distribute food tomorrow or Friday, there's a link on the school page that you can click on and fill out the form. And then volunteers who can help load food onto the buses tomorrow or Friday you can click on the link on the school tools page. And then if you aren't available this week, like maybe your schedule is already figured out, and you're not available this week, but you want to be put on the mailing list for future opportunities to help out, then there's a link for that as well. Huge news. I'm so happy the kids will be fed. This is totally wonderful. So again, let me just tell you again, this is a partnership of the Durham Public Schools, Durham County Government, Durham Public Schools Foundation, local nonprofits, and local restaurants. So I know the food is totally yummy. It's called Durham Feast. You can read all about it on the school tools page of the Durham Skywriter, durhamskywriter.com. And then you scroll down or click on school tools and get that information. They're starting tomorrow. Certain schools are taking part 11 to 12:30, and then other schools from noon to 1:30. And to repeat, you can get the kids can get breakfast and lunch. These are young people aged 18 and under. And then adults can pick up non-perishable food supplies and or casseroles. Totally wonderful. And then certain schools will be taking part on Tuesdays and Fridays. Some schools from 11 to 12:30, and other schools, again, from noon to 1:30. So read all about that on the school tools page. I am so happy. I knew they wouldn't let the kids down. I knew they were going to come up with something. So with them forming partnerships to help out the kids and the families, it's incredible. I love it. Hey, Alfredo's here. We click on Alfredo. He's way out there in California. Alfredo, what's going on?
Hi, did you want me to advertise where I work too, or is it okay that I kind of relax like this?
Oh, you're Alfredo. You do what you want.
Okay, I'll put on my my green hat.
Okay. So did you hear my announcement about the kids getting fed?
I actually just got into your stream. I probably missed the first 7 minutes. I'm sorry.
Well, it's totally wonderful. What they did was to form a partnership, and the families can go to certain schools and pick up meals.
Right.
You know, it's really cool. They can pick up meals, and then the adults can get non-perishable food and casseroles.
Yeah. But by the way, Patricia, you do such a good job presenting yourself on camera, where it's still and stable. And here I am trying to figure this stuff out. Hold on.
Well, you should have seen my first shows.
Now
you're side. What the heck? You're sideways.
It could. I didn't know it can do that.
What, you turned it?
Yeah, I turned the camera. I didn't.
Hey, Karen.
Let me get my tripod so that it's. Oops. My office is like in kind of
disarray.
Not disarray. It's functional, but it's also adjustable, meaning that if I need something done, the office has to adjust.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to introduce Karen to everyone. She's not on camera yet. I hope she joins us. She's fresh from doing the Biz Chicks show just a few minutes ago. Karen is a super like a coach for entrepreneurs.
Right.
So, Karen, if you want to give us some ideas on how to make money during these tough times, I was trying to giving some ideas yesterday. So,
there's a couple ways you can make money during this tough times. I got some tips from our good friends of Work and Focus, right? One tip I saw is rebuild, sell, and do it again.
You said rebuild what?
Rebuild, sell, and then repeat. That's one of the tips I briefly got it. So I built something, well, not really like software, but more like a system sort of for live streamers.
Okay.
But if someone needs to be at my level of live streaming, I think I'm capable of selling this setup.
Okay, cool.
That's one thing I could do, but I have to first get the setup.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying yesterday is to look around your community and see what needs doing, and see if you can provide a service. Because some of us are stuck at home, but some people are actually, some people have been laid off, some people have been furloughed, but
Oops, sorry.
some people, like a couple of friends of mine, are actually we're still working, but at
Right.
home, so they're still getting a paycheck, so they can afford services.
I'm considered an essential worker because I work at a logistics company, and I mean, I have to travel to that company to be considered an essential worker. But what I'm trying to say is that if need be, I could. I mean, there's no like real lockdown that I see here that they're enforcing in California. It's just recommended that you it's recommended you stay home. There's no real like they're not enforcing the lockdown too much where it's you're going out, but we need to check if you're going to the right place. They're not doing that. I mean, come on. They recommend lockdown, but to force people to stay indoors would be just ludicrous. Oh, by the way, I got my phone on a tripod, so now it's slightly stable.
It does look a little like you're
pointing
like
up.
you're chaotic. Is that Teenage Ninja?
No, it's Kermit the Frog.
Oh, Kermit the Frog. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have known that, but it's been a while since I've watched Sesame Street.
I get to watch it. Yeah, I have little kitties. I have to watch it. Check this out, Pat. So this is the big tripod, and I don't know if the 99-cent store still sells these or if they're still open, but this is the miniature tripod.
Oh, cute! I have one of those
for 99. Go ahead.
Karen, the link is
in the description.
Yeah, scroll up. It's in the description, and I'll post it again.
One of the things that I wanted to thank not just you, but also the StreamYard. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we allowed to share the StreamYard software here too?
Oh no, I'm on StreamYard, so yeah.
Okay.
Praise it all you want.
I did, because this tool is actually a great tool. You don't have to worry about the other software. Twiddling with it. As soon as you jump on the StreamYard, you're ready to go live.
Oh yeah.
And it's a great tool because as the talking tech head, meaning that I don't have to worry about setting up a live stream using OBS with this. It's just ready and go, and then
ready to go. Live. You can broadcast to your Facebook page and or your YouTube channel, and Twitch
too.
Twitch, Twitter, and there's Periscope. One more. LinkedIn, which I don't
have that either because I don't think they see the hello, Coach Karen, how you doing? This is the best day. No, best day. This is the best day of today where I'm in front of two beautiful ladies again.
Oh, well, thank you, Alfredo. Thank you.
Because it happened before with Barb and Pat. Now it's Pat and
Coach Karen. How are you?
I am well, and you?
Doing fine. I do this every day, and I know you're on Biz Chicks every Wednesday.
Yes, I just got off too. You're right. I was using cross buttons, so.
and Biz Chicks, by the way, they pretty much they're like online. What would you call them? Online coaches. They have their own Facebook page. Check them out.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing an echo because somebody has their Facebook page open.
Mine?
Yeah, maybe. No. If it's mine. It was mine.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have.
No problem at all. Yeah. So Karen, tell us what you do, because this is the first time you're on my show. I'm happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I'm always catching you when you're done or finishing up or like, oh, today's you. All right. So I'm Coach Karen and the founder of the Money Mindset Academy. That's my school. And what I do is help people to, there's a lot of things I do in that main brand there, but I help people to organize their mind so that they can function and feel better. And I help them to manage their money and to understand where that problem came from and get that fixed and work through that so that they continuously be able to make money personally or in their business and in their businesses.
So give us, if you don't mind, give us a couple of hints on what people should be doing now, because some people's money is starting to run out.
Yeah.
And they need money. So what do you think they should do?
Well, if you've never created a budget, this is the time to really buckle down and create a budget. And that is, if you're a receipt keeper, go check it out. If you haven't been keeping receipts, use your memory bank. Sit down quietly and think about the things and where you have been spending your money. And even if right now all you can do is jot down numbers, do that. The other thing I want you to do is get into your cupboard, your fridge, and everywhere, and see the things that you have right now and put a price on it. So this is like a month budget until you can do the real stuff. Because you might not remember everything, but put a price on it so you can see the amount of money in your fridge. You can see the amount of money in your cupboards. That's food. Let's get into your closet. See the money in your closet. See the money on everything that you have. And the reason we want to do that, we want to understand our spending habits and how we spend and why we're spending. And that's what you're looking after by doing so.
Now, speaking of refrigerators, I just heard last week that a lot of people were throwing away food needlessly because they had panic shopped instead of do what I do, and that is trying to figure out how much meals cost per week. Because I live alone, so I don't mind eating the same thing every day. So I make a vat of spaghetti and then buy those bagged salads.
Yes.
So I know how much I spend every week on food. And I think that's much better than just panicking and just grabbing stuff,
Exactly.
What is Alfredo doing?
I know, right?
I'm not really adding to the conversation, but I'm just trying to, make sure that I'm ready. Well, you have to think about it, because if we are in a time of where we have to learn masks. We still have to get resources. We have to make sure that our eyes are protected in case debris does get in our face.
And that's for when we go grocery shopping. Don't forget.
Yes, when we go grocery shopping, people don't wear this. I mean, and the other thing is that there's a shortage of masks out there, and I can show you an example of what you can do with a shirt and a rubber band. Give me a sec to get the shirt and rubber band.
Yeah, do that. And in the meantime, I bought a mask from California Cover Up, and that's one of the members. Terralina Austin is one of the founders of BizChicks. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Alfredo comes up with.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get the shirt. Let me get the shirt.
Okay.
But you were right, Pat. You gotta start learning what you need. Don't go into panic buying, especially food that can't keep. Don't listen to the craziness. Be sensible. You got sense in you, so use those senses, because that's money gone down the drain. Like, you throw that money, and if you're not going to get unemployment, if you're not going to have money coming in anywhere, and right now you're too much in a panic mood to do anything, because we got to allow that. I feel like everybody who's been at this, I'm not telling you to be restrictive, but I'm saying by the end of this month, you have to figure out where you are and what you're going to do, because if you're going to stay alive, you got to feed yourself. Right. You got to keep a shelter over you. Even if your landlord say to you don't have to pay rent, you're going to have to find out, is he saying, or she, you don't have to pay rent now, and will you have to pay it later, or are you totally exempt? Like, you need to really understand the words that they hear for you. And note it down, so that at the end of the 4-month period, they don't say, well, you owe 4 months, right? Like, you got to be careful with this stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So, don't just assume all landlords are going to say 4 months is gone. All right.
Okay. So if you're short a mask and you need a mask, you can get a small shirt, or depending how big your head is. My head can fit a small shirt. Okay. So this is an extra small Amazon 2009 peak shirt, right? This is like my son's shirt, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it 4 times. So one that's the first fold, and then the 2 other folds is just folding it up so that it becomes more like a face thingy. Okay. Right? Okay. And then you take 1 rubber band. Usually you can do 2 rubber bands to be on your ears. But apparently it doesn't work that too well with this rubber band I'm using. This rubber band, by the way, is through a band called I forgot the name of the band. Darn it!
That's okay.
But they gave us this rubber band called Jesus is Enough.
Okay, and that's actually a wrist thing, a
Wristband, yes. And
yeah.
Adams Road. Now remember, Adams Road gave us this rubber band when they came visited at a church. So this is what I have.
Cool.
And what you do is once you get your folds done on your small shirt, you wrap it around your face. Oh, I got to get closer. Hold on. You wrap it around your face like this, and then you use a rubber band to tie the back in together.
Okay.
And then you have yourself a shirt mask.
And a lot of us have those wristband thingies sitting around. I think I have a couple dozen of those things lying around the house. Serious, because they give them away.
There you go. It's advertisement for Amazon. We deliver smiles.
Nice. Thanks, Alfredo.
No problem.
Appreciate that. You got any more tips, Karen? Because again, we're talking about checking your, getting a hold of your expenses, knowing how much you spend per week for groceries. I actually think even if you have kids, I know a lot of us have been taught that leftovers are bad. A lot of us were brought up more modestly, and we don't mind leftovers. So to save money, go ahead and make a gigantic stew and just eat. And maybe you can change the sides every day. Eat the same stew or spaghetti, whatever, and just have salad or cornbread one day, or, just switch it around.
Yeah. And get the kids involved with the switching, when my kids were younger, we always cook like on Sundays. We just try a lot of different things. And then some got frozen and some come back out. And so they're used to that sort of stuff. There's the thing that's fresh. And if you're not used to, this is the time, if you got little ones, to get them involved. Don't be afraid that you have to get in there and figure it out yourself, because the kid might come up with something really fun, and then you guys can try it together and it'll be a fun time. It's not only about the food, now it'll be the experience too, because every crap that we spoiled up, my kids will talk about it today. They'll say, Mom, remember when we knew X, Y, and Z and it burned, or this happened, and we go into the story and we're laughing about it, and it's never just that. So we want to make sure it's light and it's fun at the same time, because so many people are bored. So many people are talking about how they're feeling really lonely. And if you're by yourself, I understand this. This is a good time to practice how to be alone, but still be with people. I talked to a lot of people for the last 2 weeks on Zoom. I went to a lot of meetups, a lot of just talks. I did a lot for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I was on Zoom a lot. I come over here every day. I got to do a lot. I've got quite a few summits coming up. I've been on quite a few already. I just make myself available, because this is the time where, although I still sell and do my work, I want to be able to help people in any way I can. And I know money is a big deal. I know changing the way you think is a big deal. And that's what I teach mindset and coach on, mindset and money. So I'm doing a lot of that. This is I always preach mindset, this, Pat, but now it's so much more that people are like craving for it and understanding, how do I do this? How do I set aside this space and time to figure out how to organize my mind? Because this is such an important topic, and it's so deep and so big and so wide that, there's so many areas that I tap into, but it's important for you to be able to just breathe and understand. If you're alive, everything is going to be okay.
And I like the idea that you said earlier about keeping it light and fun, because at the end of my mom's life, we were saying our goodbyes, and this is really amazing. She apologized. She said, how'd she put it? She said, I'm sorry for those tough times when we had to have pancakes for dinner. And I said, what? I thought that was a treat. Hi.
Yes. Speaking of keeping things light, my daughter here is woken up. She's looking for daddy and food.
Hi.
And what I try to remember to do I'm not a single father. My wife is actually out and about working. I try to encourage the kids to, have fun, play with their toys, do their homework, because they're going to start homeschooling I think next week. And I have set aside one desk for my daughter, and I think my son already has a desk. set for him, and we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun with this too, because the reason why is I get to be at home with my kids and teach them, my skills or whatever skills they want to learn.
Nice.
And train the next generation of live streamers.
Okay.
Right. Oh, so you're not, Alfred, you're not out working right now. You're home.
I do have a job at Amazon still, but it's not until later on in the evening.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
Good. Awesome.
Nice setup. Very nice setup. Okay.
You mean the yeah, because what I've learned at Amazon, by the way, it's a great company to work at any level, at operations or customer service. But in operations, I've learned you have to adjust at a whim, meaning that whatever comes at you, you have to either adjust or just let it roll over you. And in this situation, it's great because my home, in terms of okay, you hungry, Gab? You hungry? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Real quick.
No. I was gonna say this. Let's see. The daughter needs food, and my setup, by the way, has to adjust to the needs of the environment. So I can put my daughter down. I can still move. Explain to you that, hey, this is what I learned at Amazon. We learn how to adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But go ahead and spend time with her. And
okay.
Yeah, and you can come on the show later or on another day. But I really appreciate your input, Alfredo. Really do. And there he goes. See, that's awesome. Alfredo's got the ideal situation. Both spouses are working. They're not home at the same time. The kids are really dinky. They're little, so they can be homeschooled easily. Perfect.
Yep. You got to do what you got to do. And the minute you understand in your mind that you're doing what you got to do, then you're not so flustered. You're not thinking that that's what I'm supposed to do. I used to laugh, and I said, it's like, I think every business I had was in correlation with my kids. It makes sense to me. Whenever my kids were a certain age and it fit what I needed to do, that's what I did.
Okay.
And I think that's something people should, and somewhat, I've had the accusation that I'm lucky to be able to do that. No, I made a choice to do it. I made a choice. I got a lot of pushback for doing it. I know when I first looked at it, I got a lot of pushback. My husband didn't like it. He didn't plan on me coming off. I was working. I had a really good job. It paid really well.
Nice.
And so I got a lot of pushback, as much as I smile now. But I put my foot down and I'm like, I'm going to work hard in my business, the specific business at the time, because I've got 3 kids now and I want to be home with them. I want when my daughter comes home from school and son, I can help them with their homework. I want to know that I can, show up to the parent-teacher meeting. I want to volunteer to school when I'm ready. And I know a job wouldn't give me that big of a flexibility. So for me, it was important for I to do this. And I've been in business a long time before that. Job was new to me versus having my own business. I'm not going to sit here and lie. The salary was good, I was making probably 100 and something a year. So it was good money. And it was hard for him to see me leave that and probably make in my business at the time quarter of that amount of money. I knew that my savings were good because I'm really a good saver and investor.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
But I also knew that if I work off of what my heart were telling me, I could grow it into something really big. And you gotta have to trust your gut. That's the other thing with this times what's happening right now. You're gonna have to trust your gut. If you feel that you can do something to make you money, you could. If your hairstylist right now, you can't do anybody hair, you can still make wigs and do a drop by the curb. People need wigs. They need to keep their hair looking good. If they're making videos and they can't do themselves, they'll still need you. Okay.
And sometimes you can start a business and it will outlast your job. If there's a guy I know, and his name, I remember his name now. Okay, Philco Recycling. But anyway, the gentleman, obviously his name is Phil. He was working at a company. I don't remember what kind of company it was, but he saw stuff lying around.
Right.
And he asked his boss, "Can I take it? I'd like to recycle that." And so he started a side hustle, recycling stuff that the company didn't even want. The company eventually, he started really making money. And what happened was, eventually, as companies often do, they went out of business.
Yes.
he's still doing the recycling.
Yeah, because recycling is so big.
Yeah. So he connected with different schools and businesses and different entities or whatever companies, and he still picks up recycling. That he transformed what I think that word is intrapreneur, where you're working within a company for yourself. So he went from being an intrapreneur to an entrepreneur, which is working on your own.
Yes. You know, and you're so right. There's so many people. I'm writing the chronicles right now on my personal page, the Chronicles of Karen, because until I was talking about it, one of the biggest clients, one of my success from start to finish stories in the beginning, you know, was a girl who started something like you're talking about. She worked at a bottling company, and I told her, I said, find out if you can buy the broken bottles in our place. And she's like, broken bottles? I'm like, yeah, find out. What do they do with it? And she said, I don't know. And I'm inquiring. She's like, yeah, they will sell it to me for, you know, I think it was 10 cents or 5 cents or something. I'm like, good.
Okay.
She's like, what am I going to do with it? I said, leave that to me, because before that, I used to sell bottles, so I know what to
do. Okay.
So we found a company who make glass and do different things, and they bought bottles. And then we find another company who
even from a small person. I mean, I don't mean small person. I mean a single individual.
Yes. She just had to buy a certain quantity and take it Tuesday. And then what we did was expand the business and get about 6 or 8 ladies that work where she worked, and then we do it as a collaborative. And so we just carry the bottle, and they'll just buy it from her. And she started making more money from that business than what she was making at the job.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the reason she stayed with the job, because being a worker gave her a chance to get better bottles than if she was coming from the outside, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, they did really well. Just bottles, just collecting the bottles. We got somebody who had a pickup truck, did all the pickup and the delivery.
and another thing I suggest, if you're able to still work, look around and see what you can learn. But sometimes you can't actually start a business with stuff, but sometimes you can observe. Like there was an old guy. He was actually a retired engineer at the engineering company I was working for, and they rehired him. And basically, all he did was piddle around in his little office and just kind of. He was like 80 something, but they hired him to record the weekly meetings of the partners. And so he taught me a lot about connecting stuff as far as electronics.
Yes.
And I didn't put that to immediate use, but now I'm pretty savvy with electronics now, and I love hooking stuff up. Another thing is that when I was at the same engineering firm, I was in my 20s. I was young, and most of us were in our 20s and 30s. So when there was no work, they would read the paper. The other proofreaders would put their feet up and read. And I was too restless. I was the youngest one. I couldn't just sit there like that. So I would walk around and see what other people were doing. You know, that's where I met when I met this old gentleman. Also, I kept walking by the graphic artist room, and I would give them a long look as I walked by. And they got tired of me walking by, and they said, "Come in here." And they taught me. So I learned this for free. They taught me keyline and paste up, which is now it's electronic, but I learned the principles of keyline and paste up, which is putting together documents, which is what I do now electronically.
Right.
They taught me so much, and that's because I was bored. Then I would walk by the bindery. This is where they would be photocopying and collating documents. And I'd walk by real slow, looking to see what they were doing. So I eventually learned that too. Also, the company I was working for, we were a test site for the original graphic interface computer. It was not the Macintosh, it was the Xerox. And the people at Macintosh borrowed the idea from Xerox. I won't say more.
Right.
But again, I would kind of walk by to see what they were doing. So I got my introduction to the what was going to be the newest computers. So I was the first person that I knew in 1989 to buy a personal computer. And I started with resumes. eventually I just started getting involved, started doing newsletters.
Yeah.
And then I realized my community needs a newspaper. I know how to do it now. That's how I got started in media.
Oh, that's what Durham Skywriter.
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, it was actually the Woodlawn Scoop. It was in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
My community was a low income community called Woodlawn,
Okay.
and I started the newspaper. That my ads it was one sheet of paper folded, so it was like a four it was 4 pages. My advertisers were the people that I was already doing business with.
Yes.
So I would have breakfast at this particular restaurant, and I said, "Hey, I'm starting a newspaper. Do you want to advertise?" They said, "Sure." The bank that I was banking at, it was not a chain bank. If it were a big bank like SunTrust, they probably would have told me to get in contact with corporate. But this happened to be a small family-owned bank, and I said, "Hey, I'm starting a newsletter. You want to advertise?" They said, "Sure, why not?" So yeah. So
are you still doing the newspaper online?
It's still online. So I moved from Chicago to Durham, North Carolina,
Right.
and I started a newspaper called, again, Durham Skywriter. And then when times got really tough and I had to go out of business for a while, this is right after my aunt died.
Mm-hmm.
After all, that's why I moved here to care for my aunt. She had Alzheimer's. And then the young people said, "Miss Murray, go online." Because I was trying to save up money to put out another paper issue. And they said, "No, everything's online." I was like, "You young people.
Girl,
so clever, of course." Yeah. So talk to the young folks. They got ideas.
They've got so much great ideas. Listen to them. Mixed with ours and theirs, I tell you, you're on fire. So are you still doing the toys too?
Well, that's the thing. I need to bring the toys back. I actually had a hard time. I was without a car for a couple of years.
Okay.
And it was really hard to keep the paper going while riding the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But I eventually bought a car for my play aunt, who decided to stop driving at age 95. So things are getting better.
Good.
But
Good.
now that everybody's at home, and I'm sure the kids are driving them crazy,
mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to get my toy business restarted. It's called Pity Pat Crafts.
Yes, because
I make all kinds of really fun toys.
Yes, you got to get back there and tell them the bus. When I was taking the bus for about 6 weeks, I started just taking notes, and I was like, the bus is a good place for material. I would write I forgot what I was calling. I never published it, but I was just writing for my own enjoyment because there were just so many fun things to see in the bus. People face the feature, exchange, what's happening, the bus driver. And I had this whole thing going on for myself. Because people do a lot of things. And I think I got the idea from a lady I was on the bus with years ago. And she takes the bus. She drives, but she takes the bus because she sketches people's face expressions. And she makes art out of it, and it's at the museum. But you would know it's you because she changed you up a bit, but she collect the expressions.
That is wild.
I'm telling you, for people's face. That's how she made a living. I thought that was like, wow, it's crazy. Never even think about that. So, there's so many creative things you can do right now if you don't allow the boredom to take you over. That's like, right? And that you're good at your craft. You're good at it.
Thank you. Oh, I got a funny bus story. I got on the number 10 bus once, and I could not believe. I mean, I've seen entrepreneurs everywhere, but not on the bus. This lady, you know how older people have like those strolling walker things. She had a walker. She was sitting right across from the driver, and it was laden with jewelry. Inexpensive jewelry, not fancy stuff.
Yeah. Was that her sales cart?
That was her store on the bus. Even the bus driver said, "Oh, excuse me, just a minute." And he stopped the bus. He said, "This is nice. Ooh, get this one." I said, "You better drive this bus." But the lady had a store on the bus.
The bus.
It was amazing. You do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do
Until people say no. I guess it's worth a try.
Yeah, because you know the no is gonna come, but you're gonna have to try it. I tell people I used to sell at school, and I would sell in the school at my lunch break and before school start. And then I had a couple of tattletellers in my class who went to tell the principal, and she took away my stuff, and I was sad. But then she gave it back at the end of the day because the kids couldn't get it throughout the day. I used to get the rush, so I stopped bothering about it. I would just leave it with her. I never wait for her to take it away. After a while, I would just catch the principal office. I'll say, I'll just leave my stuff here. And at the end of the day, I'll tell everybody at 3 o'clock, if you don't come at 3, you're not going to get enough. You're not going to get enough.
Clever.
And at 3 o'clock, everybody would be like rushing to buy.
So you created a demand.
Yes.
And the principal didn't know they were helping you.
Right? Whatever's taken away from us right now, whatever you think you're losing or missing out on, pay attention to what it could do for you. Could you imagine if you learn that you were spending $500 in grocery and you only need to spend $3 and you can invest the other $2? Could you imagine if you learn that if you put together this amount of outfits for work and this set of outfits for going out, the rest of the outfits you could either resell it, take it back if you didn't wear it, and you now start saying, okay, I just need to budget my clothing budget twice a year. I don't need to buy 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year.
Exactly. And here's my philosophy. Now, I don't like to dress up. I really don't. Every now and then I'll go to a funeral or a church or something and I'll dig out something. But here's the thing. I tend to buy what I would call classics. I don't buy any clothes that are trendy. So that means when somebody dies or I go to church or I have to dress up for whatever reason, I can dig into my closet and get something from the 90s. If I haven't outgrown it, because I'm not slim anymore, but I'm just saying, if I can still fit in it, I'll wear it.
Yeah.
Because I don't buy anything that's trendy. Everything I wear is it's always in style. I mean, simple classics.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah.
I mean, unless your job, part of your job is looking hip and you know, you want to look like, you know, everything's new and fresh and
even
that's cool. Nothing wrong with it.
Even then, my mom used to always say we must have a funeral dress, or this dress and that dress, right? I make my own clothes, so I buy a few pieces. You know, if I see something that I really love, I'll buy it.
Are you one of those people? I have a cousin who's so talented. She'll go into a store, she'll take something that she really likes, and she'll turn it inside out and do the reverse engineering. And somehow she'll go home and make it.
Yeah, I can do that.
How do you do that?
I can do that. I think I'm very self-reliant. Maybe that's why this is hitting me that way. So from the head of my toe, from the sole of my head to the crown of my toe, I could take care of me without shopping.
Okay. But how do you look at something and then reproduce it like that?
I don't know if it's when my daughter says a photographic memory, I don't think it's that, but I'm good at visualization and I'm good at looking at something long enough that I can take the image. I don't know what it's called, but I can look at something long enough and I can take the image, hold it in my mind, bring it home. And even if I didn't recreate the whole big thing, I could do like a mock-up so that later I can go back and actually do it. And I do a lot of mock-ups because that way I wouldn't lose it, but I don't feel like I need to go make the full outfit. And then what I've done for myself, I've got like a skeleton, meaning I have my waist and size, everything set up already. So most styles, I just need to readjust that patterning to what I want for myself.
Nice. Okay. Welcome back, Alfredo.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back. You can hear me, right? Okay. All right.
We can.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. Yeah. So how's your child?
She finished eating her breakfast. She's playing with the cat on the table.
Okay, that's good.
You got a cat. And a dog, or just a cat?
Just a cat. We used to have a dog.
Okay.
So do the schools provide modules for the parents to take home, or what are you going to do?
I don't know. They did provide us 2 Chromebooks. So.
Ooh, isn't that nice? Wow. Okay.
Pretty good. But are they sending you the lessons? How's that working?
They haven't sent us anything other than the passwords to the Chromebooks.
Well, actually, I'll bet if you go to the school's website, they probably have all kinds of stuff lined up for you.
Yeah, we haven't there is information on the school website. I just haven't sat down and actually looked at it yet because I've been busy with other things. But
I understand.
They should start up soon next week, and then we'll hopefully get a schedule because there hasn't been a situation like this for our children to do distant learning. And with the current epidemic that's happening, it's new territory for me in a sense. That, I'm literally their teacher and disciplinarian when they're trying to learn. And right now, the way the kids are behaving currently, children, I haven't been doing a good job. So it's time for me to.
Well, it's practice.
It's all practice. It's time for me to, get my disciplinarian systems going. So.
Yeah, discipline with love.
Well,
not impatience.
It's just I just have to let them know that hey, your dad's patient here. I need you to do this kind of task. They're very respectful children. My two kids. I think my wife and I did a good job raising them. And my son especially, he's a very intelligent young man. He
nice.
Loves to do a lot of his things. He has a lot of talent, basically, but
nice.
Don't want to share his talent off too much because that's his talent and not mine. So
I got you. And I got to type it out, but I didn't get to verbally welcome Curtis. He's watching. I hope he's still there. And he can join us if he likes. He's awesome. He helps Tachi with her show, Mediascope. And he actually, I think Curtis does, I know he does marketing. He's like an expert. Definitely an expert. So check him out as well, folks, if you're looking around to see what mischief to get into. Because a lot of people are sitting at home. They don't have kids. And they can't work because their job has not kept them on the payroll or whatever, for whatever reason. And they're looking for stuff to get into. You might as well follow Coach Karen and learn, maybe even call her up. Not call her. That sounded old-fashioned, didn't it? Find her online.
Yeah, if you go to my...
Get some coaching.
Yeah, if you go to my Facebook, there is Profits in Daily, my Facebook, and you can definitely book a 30 minutes, no pressure session with me. I've been doing that because I know what's happening with people's minds and stuff. I just found something called Wheel of Names, so I'm going to have a little contest going on where people can put in the name and see, and if you win, you get a free coaching session with me. So nice. I'm definitely looking for fun things. Right now on my personal page, I've been doing dance-offs every day, so I got to put up my dance-off today. I didn't put it up yet. I do my chronicles, I do my cooking show, and there's other things coming.
Nice.
Just to keep people light and airy, and I've got people on the front line, friends and people who's nurses and that sort of thing, who is still out there working. My husband is a cook at a retirement home, so he's still out there cooking. My daughter's job, she's a manager at a retail, and so she's still out there because they have to be, even though they're not with people, they're behind a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of paperwork and that sort of stuff, and they have to go in because security and that kind of thing.
Sure.
Oh, no, don't put it back on here.
I want to keep people in mind and keep them in this happy place where,
could you focus?
Regardless of what's going on, here is still life. You got it this morning. You're thankful to be alive. So something to put a smile on their face.
Yeah.
So this is like week 3. Yeah. We're doing nice. Yeah.
So Alfredo, are you able to? Are you a good cook or what?
Alfredo? I'm sorry. What was your question again, Pat?
Are you experimenting in the kitchen more? Or?
I'm not the cook, but I can cook. Because Spanish rice is one of my specialties.
There you go.
I'm not sure what else I can do as far as cooking. It's been a while.
You can experiment.
The wife left you in the kitchen, though.
Yeah, the wife left me in the kitchen.
Wouldn't it be wild if you got experimental and made a delicious dinner and she come home and then there's dinner ready? That would be wild.
No, that's not reality there, Pat. It's more like, oh, you cook? Forget about it. That's right.
Oh well.
But you can be inspired too. It becomes, oh my God, Alfredo, this is amazing.
Exactly. Well, anyway, but maybe it doesn't work for every family.
Yeah.
But for the past year, I've been learning how to cook. Believe it or not. I mean, I've always been good at like the very, very basics and warming up and microwaving. But I've actually got a, what do you call those things? A pressure cooker. And I've been experimenting with different recipes. And yesterday, I made salmon croquettes. And I substituted, instead of salt, I put Creole spice. Whoa. We're talking about some good eating. Good. I'm not bragging because I was just following a recipe and getting a little experimental.
Okay,
but
go ahead. If you made it, go ahead and brag. Do a little bit of yeah. Listen, when you get a recipe and you can't cook, sorry for the non-cookers, until you practice enough, even if you fall into a T, the taste mightn't be there. But when you have a little insight, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Then you surprise and you taste the food, you're like,
exactly. There you go. And I'm getting good at making skillet cornbread.
A friend
You're talking about some good eating. I actually made some and gave them to the old folks I know.
There you go.
And they really enjoyed it.
You're spreading some joy into people's heart, okay? And that's
easy to make. Very easy and very cheap.
Yes. Anything with
very cheap.
Obviously, anything with flour and water, call me. Cornmeal is not a stretcher, right?
And you add a bit of honey. That's the secret.
Oh.
You add a bit of honey. And
so was it the sweet cornbread or the salt one?
It's the old school skillet, but it's still sweet.
Okay.
So add sour cream, and it's more rich.
Oh, okay.
And then the honey adds that extra
sweetness. I don't like cornbread really, but she makes it. Yeah, I know. I don't eat pizza either, and people are like,
you don't eat pizza? That's the food of the gods, and you don't eat pizza?
Nope.
I'm curious. You're from the Caribbean, so what is considered like the best or best known Caribbean dinner?
Well, here's the thing. I'm from the Caribbean and South America, right? Because we're the only English-speaking country in South America, Guyana.
I know somebody from there, and he speaks a language. It's not Spanish though, but it's some different language. It sounds like Spanish, but it's a different language. But anyway. Yeah.
So every Caribbean country have their own dish, as per se.
Okay,
Guyana,
I figured.
Right. So it's different. Guyana is made up of 6 races. So every race combined together, we've got 6 main dishes. So we got pepper pot from the natives. We've got curry and roti from the Indians. We've got metaji, which is brown provision from Africa, the blacks. And we've got fried rice, chow mein, and all that stuff from the Chinese. Okay. We've got saltfish cake and starfish and all that stuff. That's from the Portuguese, right?
Wow. I didn't even know they were over there. Okay.
Yeah. And we got whites. And that's your steak and potatoes and that sort of stuff. So we've got the whole gamut, right?
Man.
Yeah. So we're dishes are big and wide. So like on my cooking show, I did chow mein and doing fried rice. Then we got all the vegetables we do. One of the main things you'd hear people talk about was like cook-up rice, which is it's cooked with coconut milk and rice and meat and a whole bunch of things together. It's all cooked down together. And you can use any peas you like. So we do split peas, black eye, red bean, pigeon peas. We use different kind of meat. You could even do it with spinach. And then we have the methamgs like cassava, plantains, the green and the ripe. We make duff, something you make and it's all up, but you steam fish on top of those. We've got tons of different foods that we cook, so we are big and wide. But people will always talk about, cook-up rice. If you're Guyanese, it's cook-up rice. If you're Jamaican, peas and rice.
I heard that.
Yes. If you're Trinidadian, it's pilau. It's the same kind of thing.
Okay.
If you're, so it depends on where you are. So it's not across the board. But if you're around a lot of Jamaicans, you're going to hear about rice and peas and jerk chicken. That's not us.
I got you. So what's your best meal? What's your favorite?
To cook?
Yeah.
I have quite a few. But I will say, I would say for the easiest, and that's why I just filmed that video, and that's my fried rice. I I just think it's out of this world.
Really?
I think my fried rice is the bomb, especially when mixed vegetable I use on this one, but especially when I use the fresh vegetables like pak choy and cabbages and the carrots and all the fresh veggies I cut and stir fry in there. You can eat that
Mm.
without no meat, and it will be still delicious. And fried rice could take on shrimp, beef and fried rice. If you're a pork eater, pork and beef fried rice, chicken fried rice, you
Hmm.
name it, you can toss it in your fried rice. That's all.
Man,
Okay.
do you actually have a wok?
I had one, but I got rid of it. We really cook in the Dutch pan, if you will. It's a cast iron pan.
Oh, okay. Is
That's
that
what we
like?
cook in.
Oh, okay. Is that like a skillet
It's like it, but it don't stick. It don't burn as easily. It's ready to take heat,
Hmm.
and that's what I like about it. So I have them in all sizes. I buy them like from the tiniest one all the way to the big, big one because
Cool.
I usually do
Okay.
have big parties, and yeah, I got my huge pot. I used to be a
Wow.
caterer. I like to have a lot of
Oh,
big.
wow. Hmm. Nice.
Oh,
What's
wow, for disappearing on us. He's so busy.
Oh boy, I know.
But what about you? What do you pass? What do you like to cook? What do you enjoy?
Okay, I've only mastered. Actually, let me grab my iPad. Okay, so let me go to my notes app because I have my recipes on my iPad,
Smart.
and because I don't want to. Actually, I wish I could grab. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can reach this. I'm gonna show you my new stand for my iPad.
Oh, show me.
Oh,
I just got mine because as I tell you, I started my YouTube channel and I also working on a recipe book. So
check this out. Here's the
With
stand.
with the
okay.
stand?
Look how tall it is.
Wow.
And it's adjustable. It goes up and down,
Yeah.
and it's wonderful. So when I'm cooking, I have my iPad on the stand, and it won't get covered with food and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I just used to lay it next to my bowl, and it got splattered with food, and so
Yeah,
I
and it
said,
was hard to get a good iPad stand.
"Hmm."
I,
So
I,
this is wonderful. I got it from Amazon. I can send you the link.
I just got one. If I didn't got one, it was
Okay.
better. I just got
Okay. Another thing I do, I still put a sheet of plastic over the iPad
right.
so it
Yeah.
doesn't get splattered. But this is wonderful. But let
That
me
is
go.
wonderful.
But let me go to my little app and look for my recipes. So, last week I just learned how to make rice pudding. I know it's not a meal, but you got to start small.
You learn. That's all it is. You learn how to make
Cornbread,
mm-hmm.
sloppy joes,
Mm-hmm.
spicy beef vegetable stew, groundnut stew, which is a West African dish. And believe it or not, we're mixing greens, chicken, and peanut butter. It sounds crazy, but we're
Yes.
talking about some good eating. That is super delicious.
Oh, and I think I left out pepper pot. Did I say pepper pot?
You mentioned that, uh-huh.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then Chinese broccoli chicken
Mm-hmm.
and let's see, and spaghetti. I know spaghetti's not a big deal, but the sauce.
You got to make a
The
good
sauce.
It's a big deal if
Yeah.
you don't know to make a good sauce. No. I've eaten some that, no, thank you.
Gotta have the brown sugar in there. You gotta have the Creole. I think I put Creole spice in almost everything. I just love it so much.
You love it.
I don't like hot, but I like rich spices.
Yeah, I
But not,
can't
I don't like
handle
heat.
heat, so I don't cook with pepper. But the people in my home, when they just add pepper sauce to whatever they need to, because I can't handle the heat.
Okay. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I can't handle it. That's why I don't eat jerk chicken, for example, because it's
Well, my
even when they
niece.
tell me it's mild, my mouth is on fire, so I just don't bother.
Yeah, I don't like my food to be spicy either. But on occasion I'll be adventurous and just dab a little bit of red sauce or put a little bit of green habanero.
Oh no.
No. People always say to me, "What kind you come from?" I don't care where I came from. I am not eating it. Sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry. No.
Once I was invited to try some hot soup, not just hot, but hot spicy soup that some friends made, and they insisted I try it. So I knew I couldn't handle heat, but I wanted to be nice. So I tried it. Do you know the skin on my hand peeled off? That's how hot it was. I'm sitting there like, oh my God. That's how hot it was.
No way. I'm not having
Skin
it.
peeled right off my hand.
Yeah. I was telling my kids, my son the other day, I said, I had a cousin.
I gotta get going. I forgot to have a meeting at 10. I'm sorry.
Thanks for joining us, Alfredo. Appreciate it.
Thanks for popping in. I had a cousin used to make ketchup, soy sauce, barbecue sauce, tomato paste. She made them all.
Wait. Separately?
Or? Yeah, she used
separately. Oh, okay.
But she was a pepper. She grew her own tomatoes. She grew her own pepper. She had her own garden.
Yeah, I used to do that. I need to get back to gardening.
I want to do it this year. I still want to do that. I got my celery getting root. It's in water getting root.
Nice.
So I'm getting prep. Yeah.
Okay.
And so but her food, didn't matter what it was. Barbecue sauce was hot. Soy sauce was hot. She put pepper in everything. I have to say, Cousin Iris, I'm coming over so that I can eat there. And she's a good cook, but you got to give her warning because if you pop in, it's gonna shoot you to the sky.
Yeah, I can't take it. I can't take it.
I can't take pepper. And I had a cousin used to also, a great aunt used to make it for sale. Like that was part of her business, making pepper sauce. People had to love her pepper sauce. Just to get to her house and your eyes are watering if she was in this pepper sauce season, right? Where like she making it by the gallons.
Wow.
You pop it and you pop out.
And you know the secret is to drink milk, not water.
So I heard. I learned the hard way. I didn't know. I was drinking, like I didn't know and I had it. That's how I started.
Oh no.
And I had it and then I scratched my, I was like on fire. And so water, sugar, you name it, they were giving it to me and I couldn't like calm down.
Milk. The teens at the farmers market used to sit there and challenge people to try some of these super hot peppers that they had.
There's a show like that on the Food Channel.
Hilarious.
I was on the Food Channel where you
leave it to kids.
No way.
And guys would be like, oh, no big sure. And they pop the whole thing in their mouth and
So how is the paper going thing? Let's whirl back around to your paper. That's what you do.
Durham Skywriter. Well, basically, all advertising is, well, actually, I have not removed the ads.
Okay.
But I'm not charging for the ads for the next few months. The current advertisers, I just keep their ads running because for the most part, they're still in business, but because we're not really out and about, I don't mind them getting a free ride for a few months. They've been advertising with me for years. So mostly they're like auto mechanics and eateries.
Okay.
You know, and yeah.
So I don't, mainly for local.
They're all local. Okay. They're all local. But and also there's a photo gallery. Anyway, so as far as the Durham Skywriter, because it's so based on current events, so I'm kind of hampered because everything has been canceled. So the entire Durham Skywriter now is dedicated to information on helping people through the coronavirus thing because there's so many different voices speaking now, so many different videos, so many different websites dealing with information. So I'm curating all the information. So all the health-based information is still on the health page. Even though there's no sports going on, I still have a sports page. So instead, I just tell you of the different parks you can walk in and which parks are closed. The Word page, which is a nonprofit page, there's still information. American Red Cross is still giving classes online, and they still have classroom classes because their licensing stipulates that they have to have in-person classes. So I'll bet they probably have the students sitting far apart from each other. And then there's other information that different nonprofits and whatnot are dispensing, and it's hard to keep track of it all. So Durham Skywriter is the place to go for all the information for Durham regarding coronavirus. Also, I was announcing at the beginning of the show that the feeding program for the kids has restarted. They had to shut it down for a while because someone came down with coronavirus, one of the workers. But what happened was the schools, nonprofits, restaurants have made this partnership, and they restarted and reconfigured the feeding program.
Good.
And not only can the kids get fed, but now they're making giant casseroles that the parents can take home. It's wonderful. So that's on the usually I have education information on the school page. So information like that is on the school page. The cover page is tips, alerts, just all kinds of information I'm gathering about the coronavirus. And so the Durham Skywriter is going to be in that mode for the next few months until life returns to normal.
The new normal, whatever.
The new normal.
Yes.
So.
And how do you get all the Durham Skywriter to people online? Because go ahead.
The tough part is my challenge is to keep people reminded that it still exists, because when it was in print, I would distribute it to 300 different drop-off points.
Right.
And a lot of people think that it's gone, that Skywriter is dead.
Yes.
But I have tried my best to advertise it online, Facebook. I'm still doing shows on YouTube. I'm learning about Instagram. I really need to call Terry and get with it with Instagram.
Yes.
So I have gained a new audience and retained some of my old audience. Good. I've lost a lot of my elderly because a lot of them are not
still
online.
On the paper mode, because we still have paper here.
Yeah.
And I know that keeps the older folks.
So I still have a senior page, and there are a lot of seniors still reading it, but I think I've lost a lot of them, those who are relying on paper. I'm hoping as I get more financially stable, I do hope eventually that I will be able to print a certain number of copies and distribute them to the same senior places that I was distributing to before.
Right.
But right now,
it's not. It doesn't make any sense right now.
Yeah, but right now I'm doing great, and I'm loving the new online. It's not new. I mean, I've been doing this for a few years now, but the online version of Durham Skywriter is wonderful. I'll tell you the best. The way how can I put this? I'm failing now. The main reason that I'm so excited about the online version of the Skywriter is that I can update it every day. See, before it was the monthly paper, which meant I would put it out, I would take it to the printer, they'd print it, I distribute it. And sometimes I would learn about something after the fact, and I was like, darn, I missed it.
Yeah.
But now I find out something, like, for example, the feeding program. I just learned about that this morning, and I updated the Skywriter a few minutes before going on the air today. So I love that. I can update the Skywriter every day. And that makes it much more valuable.
Of course.
Even though it's not in print.
Yes.
It's far more valuable now, because as long as you have access to the internet, you can get all kinds of, also the links that I provide. I used to print out the links on the printed copy. I'd say www. whatever. And now the link, you can click on the link right there.
And you go, and I got I'm closed off now in that business. The residential part, the commercial still exists. Cleaners are still cleaning my offices, but I got all the clients who don't have the internet in their homes. So like there is just no way that anything is getting done that way. I have to pick up the phone and call them and say, listen, for the month of April, maybe even May, we won't be able to come in and do the clean. And, especially the ones who suffering back pain and arm pain. Okay. I'm like, don't touch anything, leave it. We understand when we come back and be a big cleaner, but it is how it is. Do what you can where you are and stuff like that. So
exactly,
it's hard for them. It's hard.
I'm sure.
And you're not seeing the clients. But we can't just leave them out. I remember somebody had recommended you shouldn't really take on senior clients because when they're there, what's going to happen? I'm like, honestly,
you can't leave out the seniors.
Yeah, you're going to be a senior one day. Do you understand this? If you are so lucky to become a senior.
There you go.
Because,
Exactly.
I always have seniors in my, that we look after. They're important in our lives. You learn so much. And mostly
Definitely.
reducing us, seniors need services for companion, for conversation. They can
Mm-hmm.
do their own stuff, most of them, little by little each day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell them
Exactly.
that. I remember telling people that too. I said, when somebody call me for cleaning, I understand that they can clean their own houses. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that they don't need us in there. They want to have us in there. And we have the
Okay.
discussion. When you're not afraid when you're selling your service to let people know that you understand why they're using you, they feel way
Mm-hmm.
more comfortable than you trying to sell them on an idea. You're not selling
Mm-hmm.
them anything. They call you, you're responding, and you're saying, hey. And that opens up you, and you don't feel afraid to also charge your price, because
Nice.
I want to pay my workers really well. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to charge properly to pay insurance and all that stuff to be able to pay
Mm-hmm.
people who work for me. So
Oh,
they're
insurance too. That's good.
right. So hello, I want to have a good conversation so that when my girls show up, nobody's feeling uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere wouldn't be good for us. So when people say leave the seniors out, I'm like, ugh.
They're the ones that need the most help.
It's like with this virus, we're hearing that it's the seniors, so it's almost like, well, we don't care because they're dying out anyway. No, these people, mothers and grandmothers and
Yeah.
aunts. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I love my aunts, my great aunts. My mom's an only child, so a lot of great
Mm-hmm.
aunts, and
Mm-hmm.
I love those people to death. Like if they were around these days, I would have been worried about them because they were
Exactly.
really sweethearts, right? So
Gotta take care of the old folks. That's
yeah,
why I moved. That's why I moved here to North Carolina. I couldn't. I mean, her friends were so surprised that I moved here. I don't think they expected anybody to give up their life to move here. But we were taught family comes first.
right. So this was your mom's sister that
Yeah, my
oh,
mom's sister. Hmm.
yeah, and she didn't have any children.
No kids, and she was living kind of rough
Okay.
because her house was in disarray.
Hmm.
She wasn't paying her bills. Everything was dirty, and her friends were trying to help, but they were all elderly.
Right. So they only can do so much.
Hmm.
They only can do so
So,
much.
so I was very happy. Whoops, that's my phone ringing. So I was very happy to move here to help her, and I have no regrets. And I'm trying to get my family to move down here. They won't come. Well, it's hard to move from Chicago. Chicago
Okay.
is such a fabulous city. It is, and Durham is fabulous in its own way.
Yes. Everywhere you are is fabulous. And you've been there a while now, so you got used to a lot of things too. So
And
I
the opportunities here are the cool thing about living in a smaller city. That the opportunities, hmm, it's it's easier to take advantage of opportunities, in my opinion. Chicago is so huge, the competition is so fierce, and sometimes people hoard the information. They don't really want. It's like they get information and they hold
yeah,
it over here. But in Durham, it's like we just let the information fly free,
yes,
and
yes.
we help each other, and it's so much easier to be successful here. Also,
Yeah. I never understand that concept too. I always say that, and I've had people say to me, Karen, why would you tell everybody how to do something? I'm like, well, they can't really take anything from me. I mean,
exactly,
whatever it's for me is for me. Like I could give you everything I know how to do. You can't do it like I can. That's just a fact. You're gonna do something you can.
exactly, because
So
you're
I'm
the
not gonna
best.
worry about that.
But another thing now, I've had this conversation with people as well because I do videos. I make videos for people.
Right.
And some people give me pushback. They're like, why am I going to show how to do what I'm doing? I'm like, because when everybody sees how much trouble it is, they're gonna look at it. They're gonna be like, ooh,
You do.
yeah, let me call this guy because there's no way I'm gonna do all that.
Exactly. Charlene and I was talking about that. Like we both took classes in repairing computers. Okay,
Hmm.
I still call the repair guy. I know how to go in. I can put in my extension for memory and
Hmm.
that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
But I don't do anything beyond that. I still call the
Hmm.
guy when I used to
Yeah.
call the guy to come
I
in.
don't. I don't even change my guitar strings. I got so tired of poking my eye out with those things, because they're boing, they're going all over the place. So I have the local. I go to High Strung,
Mhm.
and I have them to put on my new strings and also to fine tune my guitar. I mean, you can do it yourself, but if you know somebody who does it perfectly,
why bother? Just let them.
Yeah.
You can just relax. So how long are you usually on per day? A half an hour?
It's funny. It's funny because my original show, Bull City Notes, I tell people I'm just going to take up 5 to 7 minutes of your time because I know you're busy. But now that it's Bull City Hangout, I'm just here until whenever.
You stop hanging.
So I came on the air at noon, and actually I do have to go because my phone just rang. I do have to take care of her business.
I gotta go eat something, and I got somebody else that we're meeting for 2 today, so I gotta go prep for that.
Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying I'm on for as long as people want to hang out.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave now, but I will be back tomorrow at noon. And Coach Karen, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. We haven't spoken.
We've never really talked one-on-one.
No,
right?
Usually
in the context of Biz Chicks.
Yes. So this was nice.
So tell us how to follow you, because people might want your services locally, or people might want some coaching online.
Okay. So to find me is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, and Profits in Daily. Profits in Daily. That's where you find me. And if I pop back in, I'll put my Facebook group. They can come join me, because next Tuesday, I'm starting my free course, just a free 6-week course where people can get in there. If they want to start a business, that's where they go and find themselves. Nice. It's really to just help you get moving to get to the other stage. So I'm calling it Profits in Daily 101.
Please put that link in the description below.
I will.
I will promote that, and I will put it in the Durham Skywriter, because even though you're not in Durham, you're all the way in Canada. Even though
but you're not, can do this online.
That's what I'm saying. Promotion online is so important, and I'll be happy to promote what you do.
Okay. Thanks, Pat.
Okay. You have a great day, Karen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that's it. Boy, what a day. It is 1:20 almost. I've been on since noon. I do this every day. I publish the Durham Skywriter, as I said, Durham, North Carolina's online community paper. You can read it at durhamskywriter.com. If you want to come on tomorrow, I welcome you. You don't have to be in or from Durham, obviously. Alfredo is in California. Coach Karen is in Canada. I think Alberta. I'm not sure. Anyway, we have a beautiful day. I don't think I gave the weather report for Durham. Let me just do it real quick. It's 45. It was cloudy when I wrote this, but it's partly cloudy now. It's going up to 55 today. And tomorrow, 64 and sunny. Can't wait. So you have a beautiful day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao for now.